Good?
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome to the Town of Pownell Select Board Meeting, June 22nd. Sorry, couldn't see it. 2023 at 6 PM. I'd like to call the meeting to order. Board member roll call.
Angie Rowling.
Brian Harris. Jamie Percy.
Bob Jarvis.
Mike Gardner. At this time, I'd like to have Angie lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Approval of the agenda, public comment, approval of the minutes of June 8th and June 20th, accounts payable, payroll, correspondence, excess weight permits, reports and updates from town officials, Pownell Historical Society lease discussion, constable question for clarification, auditor contract review, dedication of which trail marker, September 16th, 2023, public comment, the executive for the first contractual we can remove, the no announcement or action taken there, of course. Executive for contractual will be for the sheriff's department contract. Number 18, announcement or action taken. Executive for personnel, public comment, adjourn, and that's it.
So moved with the changes.
Seconded.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, aye.
Mike, aye.
Sound like you said bye-bye.
I know.
Any public comment here?
Not seen any hands.
Okay, approval of minutes of June 8th, 2023 select board meeting.
So moved.
Second it.
Any questions, corrections? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian abstain.
Jamie, I.
Bob, aye.
Mike, aye. Minutes of June 20th, the special select board meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions, corrections? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, aye.
Mike, aye. Accounts payable June 16th, $21,304.73.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, aye.
Mike, aye. Accounts payable June 23rd, $20,830.79.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any questions, corrections? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, aye.
Payroll June 16th, $10,332.83.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, aye.
Mike, aye. Payroll June 23rd, $10,207.90.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions?
Excuse me.
All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, aye.
Mike, aye. Any correspondence?
We do. We have a couple. We have one from Julie. Dwyer's, I guess it's called Pownell Beer and Wine Corporation, has been sold or changed ownership. And they need to reapply for a second class license and a tobacco license.
What's your pleasure?
But do we know that they submitted to the state already?
Yeah, yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't have the owner's name or anything.
So they haven't actually sent in an application to us yet.
No, they have. This is the same process that Julie usually does. It's just like a, because it's new ownership, they have to get their own
Okay.
licensing.
We don't have their name. That's,
Well, it's for the,
Keeping the
it's for
same-
Dwyer's, it's for the same business.
yep, it's the same name as, that's all I was asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So moved.
Second it.
Any more questions, comments? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, aye.
Mike, aye.
And then there is one more. It's a request to cater permit. This one I
Can we just stop for 1 second and go back to Dwyer's?
Yeah, we gotta do the
We have to
second.
do a second one for tobacco?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I thought you did them at the same time.
No, they have to be separate. I make a motion for the tobacco license.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, I.
Mike, aye.
So the last one is the 802 Cocktails LLC. They're a caterer and it's a request to cater permit.
Where are they based out of?
I don't know. It's actually, Julie said that she can approve these herself, but she just likes to have the select board kind of give the okay. I believe it's for a wedding
Okay,
this summer.
Oh, so it's just a one-time.
July 22nd, 2023.
oh, all right.
okay.
I thought you meant it was a catering company. They're
That's what I thought
looking
at first
for
too.
a liquor license. All right.
The one.
Okay,
They
so
have
moved
asked.
for the
Seconded.
catering for the July.
Any more questions? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, I.
Mike, aye. Were those the only correspondence?
Just one more from Leonard. It's not technically a correspondence, I guess, but he has a request to get a shed. And I know I brought this to you guys before and you requested that he put his stuff down at the North Pownell warehouse, but he said that's really inconvenient and we do have a little bit of money left over from the kennel. So he found a shed that's reasonably priced. Home Depot will professionally install. Tom said he doesn't mind as long as it's painted to match the kennel. But it's a $3,000 shed, so I didn't want to go ahead and give him the okay without talking to you guys.
And we have the money to cover that,
Yeah.
correct? Okay. What's your pleasure? Who's gonna do the site preparation, do you know?
I do not, but I think Home Depot, he said that he wanted them to just install it because it was coming from them.
That's the install price?
Yeah,
Okay.
What size shed?
have it. I don't know where it is. I don't have it right here in front of me. I'd have to run and get it. It's under the permitted. It's under the 10 by 12.
It's under the 300 square feet.
Yeah,
There's that much equipment that he has to.
cages.
Yeah,
It's a lot of
traps
cages.
and-
And that'll prevent him from having to put it all in the kennel. Give him a little more room in the kennel.
Well, I think it would also, I think it may also help, like this weekend, he was out of town and he turned over the, animal control officer duty to me for the weekend.
It's fun, isn't it?
I was lucky, didn't.
Nothing happened?
I only had a couple of calls and, nothing, I had to go take care of actually. But anyways, he can leave the stuff there for somebody who's covering. Right. And I have to try to coordinate, if somebody's covering for me, just go there and get your, whatever you need to take care of your situation.
Yeah, no, that'd be,
Try to be,
Okay.
so moved.
Second it.
any more discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, I.
Mike, aye. Any more correspondence?
No,
Excess weight permits?
I don't believe so.
No excess weight permits, okay. Report and updates from town officials. Did anybody else give anything? Just me?
Well, I have one.
Perfect.
We have our certificate of occupancy for the schoolhouse portion of the building.
Yay.
Yeah,
Good job, everybody.
Nice. I saw that
Nice.
email today.
Yes, I did.
So
too.
now we need to start brainstorming on what type of furniture you want in there, and what you'd like it to look like and that sort of stuff.
So what I think we should do with that, in my opinion, is put that on the agenda for the next regular meeting. Everybody come up with an idea or your opinions or your, whether you have an idea, whether you don't have an idea, how we want to set it up. And then we'll discuss it and I'd like to make the decision that night, 2 weeks from tonight, so that we can maybe have a meeting in there 1 month from now. Our very first meeting is what I'd like to, shoot for a goal. Don't know if that's reasonable, but doesn't sound crazy.
I will do my damnedest to be in person when that happens.
Right? Yeah. Yeah. I would really and truly love for our, we get to a calendar here.
July.
It's,
Looks like July,
13th. The second Thursday is July 13th.
well, what do we have? We have,
Date, the wrong date.
our next regular meeting is July 13th, right? So the meeting that we'd love to be into the town, into the schoolhouse portion will be the 27th. Makes that right?
It
doesn't
does,
it?
it is right, yeah, I was reading it wrong.
Yeah. Right? I'd love to shoot for July 27th into the, schoolhouse.
It's doable.
I think it's doable. If not, then we can shoot for August 10th, but you know, it's at any rate, we're not very far away. Awesome. It's great news. Is that it from any other officials? Okay. Zoning, I've attended a couple of Zoom meetings the last couple of weeks. On some different regulations and some different things that are happening through the legislature this last session. There's some changes in, the subdivision rules. There's some changes in, multi-unit dwellings. Most of it pertains to, most of those changes pertain to housing that has public water and public sewer. Some of it is one or the other. But most of it is for housing, for places that have both. It's just they can increase the number of units per building or lot or whatever. That's all in there. The subdivision, zoning administrator can approve minor subdivisions now and doesn't have to go to the DRB. So it's gonna alleviate some of those, public hearings. I guess that's it in a nutshell on the zoning. I've been signing a bunch of permits for different things. There's quite a bit of construction going on in town. There's a lot of additions. There's some decks. There's some new construction going on in town. Health officer, that's been pretty quiet. I did receive a complaint the other day from a resident in town, but they don't want to file a formal complaint. So I personally I won't act on somebody who just gives me a hearsay.
They don't want to put it in writing.
If they don't want to file a formal complaint and I want that to be out there, I will 100% act on a formal complaint, which I consider to be a formal complaint. I do the same thing in my business. I just need something in writing that says, this is what's going on, whether it's true or not, doesn't matter to me. I just want that, whether it's through an email or a formal written complaint, but a phone call is not going to get me to act on a complaint.
I'm saying unless it's a life safety issue, I imagine.
It's not-
Yeah, how do you act on a phone call that says it's a life safety issue? That's really hard to, Jamie, because they can say, okay, it's a life safety issue. Okay. I mean, if it's a dire emergency and they're screaming and hollering and carrying on, that's kind of my own judgment type of thing, I guess. But, if somebody's just screaming and hollering that the sewer's running out of the home next door, well, file a complaint. Cause I'm sure this didn't happen type thing, and then I'll act. But I wanted to get that out there too. I think Fred had that policy as well. It's not just a phone call, file a complaint, we'll take care of it in a pretty timely manner. I did do that with, the water situation at Pownell Estates. I had some complaints, and I followed through with those, even though they weren't a written complaint. But I thought a water issue was fairly important. Plus they provided me with some phone numbers so that I could gather a little bit of information. And they also weren't telling me that, I don't want anybody to know I'm the person complaining.
Right.
So,
And you had multiple complaints.
and I have multiple complaints. That's right. So, It was kind of a different issue.
But that was a big life safety issue.
Yeah. Well, there you go. No, that's right.
That's my point.
Yep, no, that's right. Okay, good point. Point taken. That's about all I have. I was the acting animal control officer over the weekend. Had one call from a gentleman who lost his own dog, didn't show up at home and when it should have, and I told him just to give me a call if he needed help, and he never called back, so I assume his dog showed up at his house. And that was about it. Any questions, comments? Hannah and I are still in the process of, getting the fines out there. We have to make sure we do all of our research. And I think we're at a point now where early next week, we're gonna be writing the fines, and I actually talked to one of the landowners today. So, we're gonna get those fines out. I would say early next week, whatever her schedule allows.
Sorry, fines for what?
Some of the, we had written out some letters, Hannah and I had sent out some, zoning violation letters and some.
That's all I was looking for. Just the, I just wanted to know the topic. It was zoning violation.
Yeah, sorry, Bob. Yep, some zoning and some ordinance violations. So we just had to make sure that we had our ducks in a row. Wanted to know what permits were drawn on certain pieces of property and what weren't, you know, what they have done. And she's worked hard at getting the research done on that. And I just got to go over everything, and then we'll get those letters out early next week, those fines.
Have we issued any new letters for other properties recently, or?
No, we haven't, Brian. I haven't had any complaints on, any other properties, from anyone. So, no new letters have been written. I think and honestly, things are slowing down a little bit. We can, I can get around and look for some violations and go from there.
I've only had one third party, but I haven't actually heard from the individuals yet, so that's why I haven't brought it forward to you.
Yeah, exactly. So, yep. Okay. No other reports. Pownell Historical Society lease discussion. This is a statement from the select board. Really a discussion item. This is our statement. We're aware that a post was made recently in regards to the proposed lease agreement with Pownell Historical Society. We believe that the post accurately describes the time and effort the board, our lawyer, and our administrative staff have put into formalizing an agreement with the PHS. We did not feel it was appropriate or productive to add the opinion of the town to the PHS post and get involved in a debate via social media. Therefore, we wanted to bring the matter to today's meeting in open session. We appreciate that the Pownell Historical Society is seeking the opinions and support of our community. We would like to extend the same invitation by inviting the PHS and Pownell residents to a special select board meeting tentatively scheduled for July 20th, 2023 at 6 p.m. We are currently waiting to hear from our lawyer if Bob will be able to attend at this time. In that meeting, I'd like to set some parameters, and I'd like the board's input on this. So that we know what the parameters are before we even get there. Excuse me. My idea is to have a 30-minute public input session from 6 to 6:30 or whatever time, by the time we get there, 6:05, 6:10, whatever, but for 30 minutes, I'd like to have public input. At that time, I'd like to move into executive with the PHS with Bob Fisher present. And I'd like to try to iron this out at that time and be done with it on the 20th of July. That's what I would like to see happen. I don't know what the board's feelings are on this. I just, that's kind of what I'd like to see happen.
From my standpoint, that sounds good to me. We do want to hear from the town. We do want to hear from Pownell Historical Society. And I think all parties so far, the town and the Pownell Historical Society, have moved forward with this in good faith. And I think we're moving closer to an agreement, and I'm hopeful that we can reach one that day, not that night.
That would be nice.
Yeah, I think a 30-minute session, public comment, however you want to word it. I think that's more than an adequate amount of time, because I think that other than that, I think you start hashing the same subjects over and over, and that is definitely never productive. When you start hashing the same things, I think 30 minutes gives us more than enough time for people to bring up different points of view or different, information, whatever, however, people choose to do that. And that would include the a PHS presentation, just to try to limit that.
I agree. We need to stop kicking this can.
Yeah, for sure. Get it over and get it done with. It's gone around too many times.
Been months and it's not like we haven't tried.
Yep.
Okay, any more discussion on that? Everybody comfortable with that format as a board? I mean, do we want to vote on that? What do you guys want to do?
I think we can just set the rules at the beginning of the meeting like we generally do, and I don't think that needs to be voted on right now.
That's fine, Jamie. I'm fine with that. This was just ideas I had after this got put on the agenda. And Tara and I discussed it a little bit. And it's just things that I brainstormed actually tonight while I was putting a railing around my swimming pool. So, to be perfectly honest with you. Perfect. Constable question for clarification.
So Eddie had a great point the other day when he came in. He was signing his paperwork and I let him know that he could do civil service. And he said that since other agencies charge for that, should we be charging for it?
My question is, where would that money go?
Well, that would be for you guys to decide.
Is he looking to get a portion of that?
He said maybe it would help offset the cost of like the body camera or the badge or things like that
If it's something that we're gonna have him do, I would think we put it on the constable line.
Like, I would think, even if we have to create a line item to put that money into a budget, for him, not necessarily a budget, but, to have him. Exactly. He needs a piece of equipment. He's got
There's some money.
$75 in there because he's done 3 services and I'm just being hypothetical, right? At 25, I don't know. I'm just being hypothetical here. He wants to buy something. He's got $75 to deal with, whatever.
So, can we, just one caution, I think we probably need some advice on this, because I'm certainly not the expert. But
Right.
one I am always wary of on these things is the financial incentive to hand out tickets. I am 100% sure that our constable wouldn't do this, but maybe a future constable might. I want such and such equipment, therefore I need to raise X amount of dollars. You want to avoid that situation. The whole purpose is to keep people compliant, not to raise money. So with that in mind, it might be better to put it into a general fund that's more fungible and could be used for multiple things.
Yeah, I was thinking something along the line of just under like municipal fines, maybe like municipal fees of some kind that we don't already
Is
have.
this for doing civil violation tickets, or is this for
No, it's.
registered letters?
Say he's
and that stuff.
serving someone court paperwork,
Right, that's-
like an eviction paper or something like that.
That's why I say that would fall under his constable duties. And
Right.
that's where I was,
Oh, and
the line item.
And that's less of a risk, actually. I should have listened to that part of it more carefully. That is far less of a risk, just because he doesn't have control over what's being served, right? It's
Right.
a fee for-
He's the delivery aspect.
Right.
Right, he's just doing basically the same thing the sheriff's department or state police or somebody else would be doing. as far as serving papers, divorce papers or whatever. And I don't know if that's part of it, but I'm just,
I think so.
any legal type papers. So there's not really, I guess I don't think there'd really be an incentive for him to, he's not gonna force people to get a divorce so that he can serve papers, right? I wouldn't think. but-
Well, right, exactly. I was thinking more of handing out tickets, but it was clearly stated at the beginning that it was serving in the,
Yeah.
that, I just missed it.
But it could go into the general fund and a miscellaneous revenue.
I think Bob's right. I think it warrants a question, to maybe Bob Fisher or VLCT. Probably VLCT first and then find out. And then what's the board's pleasure? Do you have a?
So how will we set the amount of money that he charges? Because I know for a fact, when the sheriff does a no trespass, it's $100.
I don't know.
Who pays $100? The person who files the no trespass?
That's correct.
That's what I thought.
So there's gotta be what can he charge?
Well, if it's coming from like the state court system or something like that, they may have a per diem fee that they pay. So we may need to reach out and find that out.
Is it on our tickets? For
So
sure.
the civil ticket's different than,
Right.
Right, well, I didn't know if they had like an amount or something.
I think there's a couple of things, it sounds like the board's in favor of having him charge fees.
It's just how we do it.
It's how we do it in the
So-
fees and that kind of stuff. So I think a little tiny bit of research.
I'll bring it back now that you're saying go ahead. I'll
Yeah.
talk to VLCT. I'll talk to Ellen about how that works accounting wise.
Right.
And yeah, and we'll come back with it.
Is the board in agreement with that?
find out more information.
Okay, good. All right. Auditor contract review.
So I sent you all the contract. This time it was for 3 years. The pricing wasn't a huge increase. I was actually kind of impressed with that they went 3 years out and there wasn't much of an increase. And they've been really great to work with. They've been here on site a few times. They've been working with Ellen really hard the last couple of weeks on a couple of things, fixed assets and some other stuff that are.
New people, we had.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, so, once we established the relationship with them, we reached out and asked them for this contract, and that's why they,
Yeah, she told me that she's been working with them and.
yeah.
I've actually been in here and met a couple different people that have been working here. One younger kid,
Yep.
younger gentleman, and then another person. And so, yeah, they've been here, they've been working, I've seen it. They've been working pretty hard at it.
I know they were
That's their job.
people we used for the state last year too.
Yeah, they're working with, a lot of agencies around the area. And they've been great. Very responsive. I mean, she got the contract to me within 24 hours. So that's nice.
So I make a motion to go ahead with the contract?
I'll second.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bob, I.
Mike, aye. Dedication of the Witch Trail marker, September 16th, 2023.
So Joyce Held reached out and was, just wanted to make sure that it was okay to go ahead with a dedication of that, which you all approved the witch trial marker
Right.
being placed there.
Came in presentation and.
But on September 16th, she would like to do an event there and plan it with the museum so they can put it on their calendar. So she just wanted approval for that date for the, dedication.
I know,
That is a Saturday.
yeah,
And that'll be at the Strobridge
Park,
Park.
okay.
As part of the Bennington Museum you're referring to.
Yes, the Bennington Museum.
I don't know if we wanna just touch base with Joel in case we need to put parking signs up first. You
So
know,
Joel's been in the loop. He's gonna install the sign for us before the 16th, so I'll just, check with him to make sure.
I have no problem with it.
Everybody good with that?
Yep.
We need to make a motion.
I make a motion to let the dedication of the witch trial go forward on September 16th.
At the
I'll
Strobridge
second.
Park.
Yes.
But she hasn't picked a time yet they want to try to aim for?
Any more discussion on that? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Mike, aye.
And once they have the flyers and stuff, I'll share it.
Okay.
On our social media and stuff too.
All right, excellent.
Okay. I'd like to open up public comment at this time. If there is any?
See any hands?
Okay, so 16 and 17 are both off there. Guess we'll move into executive contractual for the sheriff's contract.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Mike, aye.
Is the air on?
I think so. Why you how?
My God.
All set? At this time, there'll be no action taken. We are, still trying to hammer out a little bit of language in the contract. We expected an email this afternoon on a certain portion of the, contract and we didn't get it. We did check. So this time, we're not gonna take any action on the sheriff's contract. We are going to have to come back next week. And see where we're at. We'll have to have a special meeting, I'm sure, some point next week. Let's enter into executive for personnel, and I think we can say what it's for, right? For, it's to go over the, pay raises for the employees for the next fiscal year, which starts on July 1.
Point of order. I make a motion to come out of executive session.
I second it.
Thanks, Jamie. I jumped the gun there, didn't I?
It's okay.
Good catch. Sorry. All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Mike, aye. Good catch, Jamie. So my statement still stays the same. I'm not gonna repeat it. So we're still in the same boat and we're just a little out of order. So,
Make a motion to go into executive session for personnel.
Second.
any discussion? The personnel, like I said, is for pay raises for the next fiscal year for town employee.
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Mike, aye. Can hand it in, out, in, out, in, out. I'll entertain a motion to come out of executive session.
So moved.
Seconded.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Mike, aye.
You want me to make a motion to,
I'll entertain a motion to accept the pay raises for personnel in town as discussed in executive session.
So moved.
Seconded.
providing they sign the work agreement?
Providing, yeah, we should amend that.
Please.
Strike that motion.
I'll rescind that motion. You need someone to rescind the second.
I rescind the second, sorry.
Yep.
I'm sleeping.
I'll entertain a motion to approve the pay raises for town personnel and employees, boards and commission members, provided they sign their personnel policy work agreement that the town has provided and then it goes into their file.
Second.
Any more discussion? Any questions? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Mike, aye. Perfect. Any public comment, Hannah?
Yes, Jim has his hand up. You can go ahead, Jim.
Sorry, I didn't unmute myself. Hi, guys. Jim Costas, North Mason Hill Road. First of all, I just want to say, I have to appreciate, I'm glad you held off with the sheriff's thing. I just want to make sure that your discussion with them is that they are also available on weekends doing patrols, that they will do their own patrols, not waiting for calls. And also that they're not just a typical 9 to 5 type of business. In any case, I just want to let you know that about 80% of the ATVs that do go by my house are very nice. Things have really changed a lot. We still have a problem with dirt bikes and a couple of the risque, I'll use that as the word, dirt ATVs, the small ones. I had encountered one this past week that has come all the way from North Adams to kind of speed down the road. He figured all roads, dirt roads in Pownell are ATV trails. I had to explain to him that this was a class 3 and that it is not an ATV trail. The wife continued to kind of say that she was at least going to 25 miles an hour, and I had to proceed and say, but it's not an ATV trail, so just slow down. I give them the option. It was very nice last night, 1 o'clock, or this morning, 1 o'clock in the morning. Had the ATVs, they went by very nice and slowly and quiet. So, I mean, it is still happening out there. I just wanted to make sure that the sheriff's department or you guys have had discussions with them that I just like to know what available hours they are there. I know I called one time, it was about at 4 o'clock and I got connected with Wyndham. They kind of explained it's cheaper for them to have Wyndham be the dispatch. So it kind of explained that there were patrols out there, hopefully, but I just think we need to know this information. So I appreciate it and thank you for the discussion with them.
Jim, I think we can respond to you on that one and say that there is a change to the current proposed contract that we have with on this upcoming contract. We have negotiated with the sheriff's department on the hours, not just the number of hours, but the hours that they are actually patrolling. And they're not going to publish, quote unquote, I guess, the hours that they're gonna be out here patrolling, but it's not gonna be 7 to 3:30 Monday through Friday.
Great, I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Anything else, Hannah?
That looks like it's it.
Nobody else?
No, no hands.
Motion to adjourn.
Seconded.
Any more discussion? All those in favor?
Angie, I.
Brian, I.
Jamie, I.
Bye-bye.
Mike, aye. Thank you, everyone, for attending, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Watch your bat, Jamie.